welcome to my channel. Uh, Hi, welcome to my channel again. This is Jamila Davis Williams, and today what I wanted to do is share with you the basics of budgeting, right? I don't want to assume that everyone knows how to budget, right? When I think about the clients that I've coached over time, even my clients who have been in their careers for 15 and 20 years still struggle to budget based on their paycheck or month to month, whatever they decide. And so today, I just wanted to talk about the basics of budgeting or budgeting for beginners, just to help you guys get started while we're still in the beginning of the year to really start making sure that your dollars are working for you and that you're not just working for your dollars, right? One of the reasons it's important to budget is because it helps you um, manage your money, right? It helps you see what's coming in and what's going out. And then you can also see where you need to cut back, right? That's one of the reasons why it's important. It also gives you confidence, right? When you know what's coming in and going out and you can kind of move things the way you need to, you get confidence about, handling your money better, becoming a master of your money. One of the other reasons is savings, right? Depending on your goal, right? Some people have a goal to save money. Some people have a goal to pay off debt. Some people have a goal to do both. It's hard to reach those goals if you don't have a plan for your money, right? And so when we're budgeting, we want to make sure that every incoming dollar has an assignment. Every incoming dollar must have an assignment. And so let's just discuss. I'm going to just share my slides. Hope you guys can see me, but I am going to share my slides as well. So one of the things that we always talk about, and I believe Dave Ramsey might have coined the phrase of the four walls, right? These are your necessities. These are always priority when you're putting your budget together. Now, you don't have to have a fancy tool to make a budget. You can have a notebook and a pencil, right, to put a budget together. There's also templates. I have some that I use with my coaching clients, but there are some that you can find online. You can find some right in Excel, or you can just create one, like I said, with notebook and pencil. I like to use pencil when I'm doing a budget, and I just write it out. I do use a template, but I do write it out. And then I put it into my worksheet that I have, and then I print it out and just put it in a booklet just so I can go over it. You do want to create a budget monthly. So every single month, you should be looking at your expenses, what you spent the previous month, and if you need to make some changes for the upcoming month, right? Now, the four walls, let's talk about it. These are your necessities. These are your must-haves, can't do without, right? Everyone needs a roof over their head. They need food and their medication if they have to take it. I also put household items in there as well because that's like your toiletries, your, soap, deodorant, things like that. So that's in there. Utilities, right? Heat, electricity, water, the basics. We all need that. And then transportation, however mode, whether you drive a car, whether you use public transportation or ride share, you need to get to and from work, right? You need to get to and from doctor's appointments. So you got to take care of transportation. We call that your must have. Now, I didn't say you needed to have a car. I said transportation. So just think about that when you're looking at your four walls. Now, when you are in a financial crisis, right? There's a job loss in the household. There's reduced income due to workman's comp or short-term disability or a temporary layoff. If nothing else is paid, this is your must. This is your necessity, your basic budget, the four walls, right? You take care of that. If you take care of nothing else, you want to take care of that. So if you're receiving reduced income, unemployment, you or your spouse is not working, here's what you guys must do so that your family has a roof, has food, the medication they need, the utilities they need, as well as a way to get to and from appointments, and for the spouse that is still working to get to and from work to keep whatever money coming in, right? So that's your four walls. Now we're going to go to the remainder of your budget, right? I don't care if you're in crisis mode or not crisis mode. The priority is your four walls. That's first, right? Now, for me, because I am a tither, right? I put tithes and my offerings on my budget. It is something that I include um, always. And so for me, that is one of my that's on my list, as well as savings, right? Now, I work with different people. Some people, they have a goal to save money. Some have a goal to pay off debt. Whatever your goal is, that should be included in your budget. So if your savings, include it. We talked about in my previous video how to save $1,000 fast, right? If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. And then once you hit that $1,000, then you want to automate your savings, right? You want to make sure that out of every paycheck, you have something going into your savings account so you can continue to build. So whether it's 25 or $50 or whatever you can afford, make sure that once you hit your $1,000, and you want to do that as fast as possible. I have some information in the video about how to do it in 90 days. You want to automate that. Have it come right out of your check into that separate checking, separate savings account across town so that that money can build. And then utilities. These are the utilities that's not covered in the four walls, right? Because when you're in crisis mode or you have a financial emergency, you're not worried about the internet, cell phone, cable, streaming. However, when everything is flowing, this is a part of your budget. You need to make sure these items are listed on your budget. Cable or Sling TV, or I'm not sure what else is out there, but and then streaming, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, all those kind of things should be listed. Clothing. Now, we all got to have clothes, right? However, we don't have to have the tuxedo or the sequin dress. So this is your basic clothing, things you can, your kids need for school, you need for work, that kind of thing needs to be listed. Now, if you do have an event coming up where you have to buy a special suit or a dress, you do want to budget that in, but that may go under like miscellaneous because it's a one-time off thing. And so these categories are just templates. You can change them depending on your situation. I just wanted to give you some ideas that you can use as you're creating your own budget and what kind of categories should be listed. But again, it may be different for you depending on what you're doing, okay? Insurance, right? So your life insurance, health insurance, most health insurance is coming out of a paycheck, right? If you're working a job. However, you may have like a supplemental insurance that you pay out of pocket. That's what that is. And then your auto insurance and any other insurance that you may have that was not listed in your four walls, right? Personal care. So this is your child care, tuition for yourself or for your kids' school, your cosmetics, hair care for you, your children, the haircuts, nail care, all that stuff. You do want to include pocket money, right? A lot of people don't include that, but then when they're trying to figure out where their money's going up, it's because they didn't put pocket money in their budget. So if they're spending it, but they didn't include it anywhere, so normally it looks like there's a leak somewhere. So make sure that when you're doing your budget, you're including pocket money. That's your spending money that you've allocated to yourself to go and do a few things with, or when you got to stop, you're on work and you got to stop and buy something quick, that's coming out of your pocket money or things like that. Household items. This is where you want to stock up, right? So on the four walls, we talk about just maintaining what you need, just your soap, deodorant, tissue. But here is where you want to stock up. So every month or however you choose to do it, you want to just continue to buy this so that you can actually have a little bit of a surplus, if that makes sense. So in the event of a financial emergency, reduction of income, you are stacked up on your tissue, soap, deodorant, cleaning supplies, that kind of thing. And then for those of us who have fur babies, we might have some pet care that should be on your budget as well, right? and then debt. This is your car payment, so your actual car payment, your credit cards, your student loans, or any other loans you may have. That is listed there. If you are on the debt reduction plan, you've worked with your financial coach and you guys came up with a plan to reduce and eliminate your debt, then the payments that you input on the budget are going to be the payments that you came up with when you did the snowball method. And if you don't know what that is, I think I talked about that in a previous video a little bit as well. And then entertainment. If I can tell you, out of 9 times out of 10 of the people that so 90% of the time of the people that I've coached, entertainment, when it's not listed, is normally a place where people are spending a lot of money and they don't realize it because it's not a budgeted item, right? So your movies, your dining out, my head's in the way, but your vacation, your concerts, your events, your outings, or just hanging with friends, doing all the fun things, that needs to be given an item on your budget so that you can still enjoy life while you're paying off debt, while you're trying to save money. Now, of course, you can't go crazy because you have a goal to save a certain amount by a certain time, or you want to pay your debt off quickly, but I do believe that you should still be able to enjoy yourself while you are reaching, your goals and trying to achieve financial freedom. Because if you don't have a little fun, you are not going to stick to this plan, right? You are not going to stick to the budget that you've put in place. And we want you to stick to it so that you can achieve financial freedom, right? So if are starting and new to budgeting and didn't know where to start, here are some places, some categories that you can kind of look at to see what fits you, what doesn't. Once you start budgeting monthly, you're going to kind of see some categories that you may need to add, change the name of, whatever the case may be. But this is a starting point, right? So the previous slide we talked about, I'll just go back really quick. We talked about, and it won't let me. Hold on. Why not? Let's see. Give me 1 second. See if I can go back one. It won't. But let me see if I can go back one. It won't. But on the previous slide, I don't know. I'm new to this and I'm not editing. I'm not good at all that stuff. But I want to make sure that I'm trying to help the people. So in the previous slide, we talked about the 4 walls, right? That's your shelter, your food, your utilities, and your transportation, right? Those are your necessities, your needs, your must-haves. So when there is a crisis or, there's a reduction in income temporarily due to a layoff, short-term disability, and workman's comp, that's no matter what, pay that, right? Everything else kind of goes on hold until income is back and you get back on your feet. Then you add the rest of these items to that, right? So I wanted to just kind of give you guys a little brief on here is where you need to start with budgeting. Now, one of the things you must know, of course, is your income, right? How much is coming into your household? You need to know that figure like the back of your hand, right? You need to know that. And then you need to know how much you're spending per month, right? So you need to be tracking your expenses, right? That's no matter if you're using a debit card, cash, or a credit card. You need to see how much money you're spending where on, what these categories per month, per week, whatever you decide, but you got to track that number so that when you put your budget together, you have a starting point. And then you may be able to see once you track it, oh, I need to cut back there. I didn't even know I was doing that much in entertainment, right? I didn't know I was spending that much dining out. I didn't know I was spending that much on outings. I can cut that number back, right? Some of these numbers you can't cut, like rent, your mortgage payment, property insurance, renter's insurance, those kind of things. They're not going to change. Your car note's not going to change, right? But there are some other things that's in discretionary, is what I like to call it, in the personal area, entertainment, and clothing, that most times we can find some areas where we can cut back and make some changes so that we can save more money and pay off our debt faster, right? And so those are the things that as you track your spending, you'll be able to see like, ooh, I didn't know I was doing that. And so, but in the description, I'm going to provide a link where you can get my expense tracker that I created. Real simple, but it has drop down boxes with some of these categories that as you're, going through and getting prepared to do a budget for the first time, it is a good idea to track your expenses for a week or two to kind of get an idea, right? Also, looking at bank statements, looking at your bank statements, looking at your ATM withdrawals, your dining out, the things that we don't always track. How often you're going to the salon, pocket money, the miscellaneous spending. Look at your bank statement, the one that you haven't opened for the last 2, 3 months. That thing. Look at that. And if you don't have them sent to your home, normally you can log into your online banking, go to like e-documents or something like that. It may say e-statements or e-documents, and you can normally find your last 3 statements. And if you have that, print them. And then you can kind of go through and begin to highlight to say, oh, my food, my miscellaneous expenses, my ATM withdrawals that you may not even recall what you got the ATM withdrawal for. You want to begin to look at those things because many times that's where the leaks are, and that's where you can kind of pull back to start using some of that money to put into savings or to pay off your debt. So I hope this video helped you to get started with budgeting. You don't need some fancy software to do so. All you need is paper and a pencil to begin putting your numbers on paper and then begin tracking those so that you can stop stressing about money, not knowing where it went. Now you can take control of your money instead of your money taking control of you. Again, I'm going to put that tracker in the description for you to download. Also, I do offer discovery calls for those who may be interested in just saying, here's my issue. I need help in this. And then I can kind of give you some guidance a little bit. It's no cost to you. I offer an hour of free discovery call just to kind of help you get started. And then I can provide some tips and tools of other ways that I may be able to assist you. But again, I hope this helps you. Thank you for joining me. Go and start taking care of your money so that 2025 can be better financially than 2024 was, and that you can continue to or begin to build wealth for you and your family. Make it a great day. See you soon.